Waterloo, June 18, 1815. On this battlefield, one man moves through the carnage without a weapon. The Duke of Wellington spots him from across the lines. He raises his hat, orders his artillery to hold fire. The Duke of Cambridge asks what he's doing. Wellington points and says, "I salute the honor and loyalty that are passing by." That man was Dominique Larrey, chief surgeon of Napoleon's Imperial Guard. And to understand why his enemy saluted him, you need to go back 30 years. Trained in surgery in Toulouse, then Paris under the great Dissot at the Hôtel Dieu. In the spring of 1792, at 26 years old, he arrives in Strasbourg, assigned to the Army of the Rhine. Speyer, his first battlefield. Larrey watches soldiers fall and then watches them lie there. The rules were clear. Ambulances stay 1 league behind the front, 4 kilometers. The wounded waited 24 hours, sometimes 36. Most died before anyone reached them. Larrey decided this was not medicine, it was abandonment. He proposed something radical. Bring the surgeon to the battlefield, not after the fight, but during it. Horse-drawn carriages with suspension, a full medical team at the front. He called it the Flying Ambulance. 3 divisions, 1 at each flank. 1, led by Larrey himself, at the very center of the fighting. For the first time in history, a surgeon operated under enemy fire. 1793, Toulon. The Spanish blow up a fortification. 76 French soldiers are pulled from the rubble, severely burned. The standard treatment of the era made things worse. Larrey looked at the wounds, looked at what medicine was doing, and stopped. He wrapped the burns in fine, oiled linen, protecting the nerve endings from air and pressure. He ordered anti-inflammatory drinks, milk, rice broth, honey water. He watched for gangrene, cut the dead tissue before it spread. This is the foundation of modern burn treatment. 1797, Italian campaign. On a Navy vessel, Larrey finds 3 men dying below deck. Typhus, rotting linen, sealed air. He orders everything burned, decks scraped and whitewashed with lime, sulfur and saltpeter fumigated into the hold. The epidemic disappears in days. Germ theory doesn't exist yet. Larrey simply understood, before anyone gave it a name, that filth kills. 1798. Napoleon launches his Egyptian campaign. Larrey goes with him, as always, at the front. At the Battle of the Pyramids, facing the Mamluk cavalry, the French form into infantry squares, walls of bayonets on every side. Inside each square, the wounded and the surgeon. Larrey operates in the center of the formation while the battle rages around him. When Bonaparte rides over after the fight, he finds Larrey with no supplies. The camels carrying the medical equipment had been stolen. "How are you operating?" "They took everything. We carried the instruments on our backs, General. And the brandy you're giving the wounded. The last barrel in the army. General Bessières gave it to me." Bonaparte rides off. "Bessières is a man of heart. As for you, Larrey, you always perform miracles of foresight." In Cairo, Larrey treats everyone. French soldiers, Egyptian civilians, enemy wounded. Word reaches Murad Bey, the Mamluk leader. His household has been treated. He owes a debt. He offers Larrey money. Larrey declines. He operated as an army surgeon, not a private physician. Murad decides a gift worthy of a great lord is required. One morning, Larrey returns home to find a procession of 12 veiled women waiting. Circassian women from the Caucasus. In the Orient, refusing a gift is a profound insult. Poland, the Battle of Eylau, -10 degrees. Larrey operates standing in the snow, inside a barn with no roof. Wind and cannonballs pass through the walls. His assistants' fingers freeze around their instruments. Larrey's never do. He writes to the painter, Girodet, "The cold that froze the feet and fingers of those around me left me untouched. My hand never lost its steadiness. All around me men called out my name and the cries of pain at the same time." Napoleon visits the barn. He notices Larrey has no sword. The Russians stole it with his luggage. Napoleon unbuckles his own sword and hands it to him. 1812, Borodino. The bloodiest single day of the Napoleonic Wars. 70,000 men killed or wounded in 12 hours. In the first 24 hours, Larrey performs 200 amputations. His technique is unlike anything seen before. No bone to saw, just a clean cut through the joint. Less blood, less shock, less time. A shoulder disarticulation under 1 minute. Outside, soldiers pile up amputated limbs faster than anyone can clear them. A passing officer sneers. That's Larrey's ambulance, all right. Of the 12,000 soldiers Larrey's teams operated on at Eylau, 91% survived. Today, the technique is still called Larrey's amputation. Russia. Napoleon's Grande Armée is retreating in catastrophe. The Berezina River, one bridge, 100,000 men trying to cross. Larrey has already crossed twice, going back each time to find more wounded. He steps onto the bridge a third time. The crowd is crushing. Men are dying just from the pressure. Someone recognizes him. The cry goes up, "Make way for Monsieur Larrey!" Larrey writes to his wife, Elizabeth. The moment I was recognized, I was seized by vigorous hands and passed from one to the next, like a package of linen, all the way to the end of the bridge. While generals walking behind me were stopped, swallowed by the crowd. I never heard from them again. He ends the letter with this: "These marks of attachment from the army are the finest reward I could desire." Which brings us back to Waterloo. 25 campaigns, 40 battles, 200 engagements, 6 wounds in combat. A man who treated every soldier the same, general or private, French or enemy. After the battle, Prussian troops capture him. He is sentenced to death on the spot. A Prussian surgeon in the crowd recognizes him. He had studied under Larrey. He pleads for his life. The commanding officer agrees. Larrey is brought before Marshal Blücher. Blücher knows him too. Larrey saved his son's life after the Battle of Dresden. He is released. Napoleon, writing his will on St. Helena, leaves Larrey 100,000 francs and adds these words: "The most virtuous man I have ever known." Paris, 1840. Napoleon's remains are brought home. 1 million people line the streets. In the crowd, an old man of 74, white hair over his shoulders, wearing his old campaign coat from Wagram. Suddenly, from somewhere in the crowd, a voice. Then another. Then the whole street. "Make way for Monsieur Larrey!" The ranks open. The same cry that saved him on the bridge of the Berezina. 25 years later, the army still remembered.